Welcome here at For a Moment Joy. For this moment, joy. The world will still be out there after we share this time together. So sit back and relax. We always start from a place of gratitude and from celebration. Celebrating life and this opportunity to be here, to be alive, to be able to breathe and move. And gratitude that we have the opportunity to explore together the elixir, yes, the nourishment of heart, soul, body, and mind of our self-worth. Because self-worth affects all the aspects of our lives and our total experience of this wonderful journey which we call life. Deeply grateful for this moment in time and for our worth. Now, I don't know about you, but when I think of worth, I see a gem. Something rare and raw and real. Like you are an incredible being. No matter how you perceive your worth as. That's what you inherently are as a human being. A gem that shines from within outwards, affecting everything and everyone around you without doing something, by simply being you. So I have a question for you. How do you describe yourself, usually? Based on what you do, your work, your pain, your past, your relationships, your status, your passions, your dreams, your ideas, how you fit into this wondrous thing called life. How do you describe yourself? For me, it's extremely difficult when somebody asks me that, because I cannot define all that I am in a few words. And this world that we live in today, this digital world, this interconnected world of technology and communications, ask us to define ourselves in a profile or in a curriculum vitae when we apply for a specific position, where somebody assign our value to us based on their own perceptions, which are limited. They don't even know us. They know so little about us. And in this digital world that we live, others know so little about us, and we about them. So how is it possible to define your self-worth in a few words or in a profile? It's impossible. You are about so much more. It's like trying to fit the ocean into a teacup. It's impossible. You see, we all come into the world like a blank page. And then people start to write on us, and we ourselves as well. And it's difficult for us at some stages in our lives to determine who we really are and what our worth really is about. Because self-worth is not simply a mental concept. And we will discover that in our JOY Elixir here. That it's about much, much more. About a value that we assign to ourselves. A number. A stereotype. Whatever that might be. We lose so much of ourselves, so many parts of ourselves in times of unrealized love, wisdom, understanding, abundance, and power. We have to get these parts back. We have to call those parts back to ourselves and empower ourselves. Nobody else can do it for us. And when I think about self-worth, it's like a room. But let me show you what it looks like. So now you see me, and now you don't. It's a dark room. How do you feel about the dark? Our self-worth is much about the same. The fact that we cannot see what's in the room because it's dark, because the light is not switched on, doesn't mean there's no treasures in there. And if we were to shed some light upon it, we'll see vague forms, but not exactly everything. Just a little bit, and then dark again. And if we were to put on the light and shed the light upon our own self-worth, Initially, it might be very blurry, and there might be still a lot of interference of our perceptions and of others' opinions about our self-worth that we value and that we identify with. But slowly the picture becomes clearer. But something else is still missing. Who's in the chair? Ourself, our sense of self, must come back into the picture. That can become clear of who we are. And here I am, back in the chair. We've put on the light. And that's all we need to do. We have to ignite the spark within ourselves and shed the light upon our worth. It's not something we have to do, achieve, or prove to anyone. Allow me to introduce you to my beautiful friend here. Isn't she just lovely? Is she alive? Can she feel? Can she use her senses to experience life? Can she respond to life? No. So what would her worth be? Most definitely not based on what she does. She is the most beautiful sculpture, and that's her purpose, created with lots of passion, inspiration, and talent. Her value is based on what she is, a statue, a sculpture. And so are we all. We are human beings. Worth is an interesting concept. Self-worth is even more fascinating. It is by far the one aspect that impacts our experience of life in the most profound way. We live in a world where self-worth is sadly defined by what we do and have. Now, such a belief creates unnecessary misery, disappointment, and anxiety. And a lot of resources, time, and attention is needed to fulfill its desires and to quench its thirst. We do to have worth. We do to be acknowledged, loved, and appreciated. Or we do to accumulate things, and these things give us a false sense of worth, whether a home, a car, a branded clothes, the latest gadgets, a business, a position, status, our relationships, a lifestyle, or knowledge. And when we have accomplished all these things and acquired them, we will be happy, which is mostly a give-get reality. Not that any of these things are bad. Now, the word self-worth itself clearly states it's about the self, not about what the self do, own, or achieve. Neither is it dependent on others' response to us, or what we say, think, feel, or do. Our self-worth is our spark, our life force, our awareness. All our aspects working together in perfect harmony. That is pure joy. This is a be, feel, sense, relate, have, create, make, do, and share reality. You can be you without needing to do anything to prove yourself. Free to be who you are and how you want to express your spark and what you would like to do with your spark, and free to what you want to contribute to and be part of. Absolute freedom to be. How does that make you feel? How you can freely sense into everything around you with your inborn sensibilities. How you relate to others and the world from such a state of being and feeling and sensing. It feels so good, knowing and trusting that you have all the inborn abilities and talents you require to do and make and create something that fits your soul and that you love doing in the first place and that makes you shine and come alive. And then the ability to share that with the world from a state of joy, inner pride, confidence, authentic and glowing like a diamond. Your spark is unique and precious. It's juicy, it's yummy, it's rare, it's wild. It's the most beautiful thing on earth. This is your true worth, and no one can ever take it away from you while you're alive. It's eternal and can never be depleted. We can hide, deny, ignore, and neglect it, but it will never die. The wonder of our spark is that its purpose is to provide light and warmth and energy, and it grows bigger and lasts longer when it comes together with other sparks. If we light a match, the flame will soon die if we do not use it to light something, whether a candle or a fire. And it does not burn for itself, and it wastes no energy. It provides energy. Now, going back to a do, have, be reality, upon investigation, we will discover it is mostly a needs, scarcity, and fear-based reality. Our need to belong, to be recognized, to be acknowledged, to have, to earn, to gather, to consume, and to be seen and heard, all comes from a place, a hole that needs to be filled inside of ourselves, because we do not understand our own worth. But no matter what we do, achieve, earn, or who loves us, this hole is never filled, and instant gratification does not last. We see our worth as something separate from our inherent being, of being human. Fulfillment is not about achieving something, whether a goal, a purpose, or a relationship. To feel fulfilled is about being you fully, whole, complete, self-actualized, self-reliant, feeling connected to all that is, where all your aspects work together in perfect unison. It's about the being first, thus our inner state of being, a state of balance, peace, vitality, and delight. And being in such a state of being, or being able to come back to the state of being, when we feel depleted, lost, tired, confused, stressed, scattered, stuck, depressed, or unbalanced, we feel inner joy pulsing through our veins again. We can come back to this place. We sense and embody our spark on all levels, mentally, physically, emotionally, and spiritually. It's impossible not to shine. And to be with someone in this state of being is wonderful. It lightens us up and energizes up. Hence, our relationships with others transform, as well as how we relate to everything and anyone around ourselves. We are aware of all our inherent abilities and inner genius. And with these talents and abilities, we can do and make and create what brings us more joy and what feeds our soul. And we are not consuming much, as our inner well is always filling us up. Likewise, we are aware of what resources we require to do and make and create. And we are also aware of our impact on our environment. We use what is necessary and we do not waste. Our spark of light and life brings the ability to freely and abundantly contribute to and share our talents and skills with a greater whole. We become magnets. Like a flame attracts a moth, we attract those who are like-minded and like-hearted, and those who want to support us, and also those who need our contribution. And we are like a rose opening up. We blossom, and we share our magnificent beauty and unique fragrance with the world. We give color to life. The rose is simply the rose, and the bees come to visit to make honey from its amazing nectar. It is life-giving, and so are you when you are fully you. Such a reality is abundance, possibility, and love-based reality. It's sensational as all our senses come alive and our cells rejoice. This is a state of total well-being. There is never not enough. And our being rejuvenates and nourishes our doing. And in return, our doing inspires and energizes our being. Doing becomes effortless, boundless, joyful, creative, and meaningful. Is that not just wonderful?